Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy, family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
Keith Kaminsky, Bucky good in the ball!
Santel, all the way to the basket, foul, lays it in for 2!
Hello, high school basketball fans, and welcome to the Upstate Hoops podcast here on Monday, February 9th, 2026. I'm Jim Sinacropi, along with Paul Russo and Kyle Evans here inside the FingerLakes1.com studios. And we're now edging closer to the end of the regular season here. We're going to take a look at Class A boys this week, see how the standings are in Class A. Last week we did Class B. But anyways, yeah, it was kind of a crazy week this week in high school basketball. Some really good games. One of the best plays I've ever seen in high school basketball. We'll get to all that. We'll unveil our new power rankings, and we'll take a look at the week ahead, which is almost the final. It's the final week, but I think it goes to Tuesday next week.
Final full week, Wednesday next week, I think.
Wednesday, so final full week of games here in the regular season. Hard to kind of believe, but the Super Bowl ended yesterday, so I guess we're right on track. Just need the weather to warm up a little bit to truly feel like it's a sectional season here. So, good show on tap. Glad you could be with us. The Upstate Hoops podcast and all of our coverage of Wayne Finger Lakes High School basketball is brought to you thanks to the support of Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Order online at cicinos.com. And DeSanto Propane since 1937. The difference has been DeSanto Propane. And Little John and Barbie Orthodontics. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com. Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz, always strong supporters of local high school athletes. Fellas, we're here. Geez, the Super Bowl feels like it almost just ended. And now we can turn our attention to basketball fully. I can always remember when Syracuse basketball used to be good. I look forward to the Super Bowl ending because then there'd be more media coverage of college basketball. But around here, we're focused on Wayne Finger Lakes High School basketball. And I guess we should start by taking a look at the week that was in boys basketball, highlighted by the Wayne Newark game that was live on Finger Lakes 1 on Tuesday night, was it? Yeah, so we're going to talk about that one a little bit. Geneva also had a nice win on Tuesday night over Palmac. Minders boys got on the win column with a win over Penn Yan. And Waterloo boys also got a win over Mid-Lakes on Tuesday night. Gananda Lyons squared off in Wayne County, as did ER and Lyons. Lyons beat Gananda and then upset by East Rochester in a game we're going to talk about here on the show. Honeyoy boys got a win over Bloomfield. And Minders lost in overtime to Palmac, so they couldn't make it a 2-game win streak. So let's start. We're going to talk about 2 games from this week. Wayne Newark and Lyons ER. Let's start with Wayne Newark. Paul, you were courtside.
Yep.
Fantastic basketball game on FingerLakes1.com.
It was crazy because, what's going to get lost in the shuffle here is how good Newark played for what I will say is 28 minutes. I had to make sure my math was correct.
Yeah, they had a big lead.
Yeah. And just, I think the key part for me was Wayne finally was able to get some shots falling in the second half overall. I know Aiden Twist had 15 of his 20 in the second half and into overtime. And it was just kind of like one of those things where I think maybe the law of averages, right, kind of caught up a little bit on that side of things. I really did think Newark played a really great game. I don't want that to get lost in the shuffle here. But Wayne, you want to talk about kind of just fighting through adversity right through that game. They found themselves at one point staring on the barrel of going down by 20 plus at one point. Newark gets a technical foul, and that kind of really swung things around in the second quarter to where Wayne bit into that momentum a little bit and never really fully released it at that point. Fought back all the way through the fourth quarter, tie it up, and really at that point the Wayne defense, to me, was the key X factor. They only allowed combined in the fourth quarter and overtime period, for those at home, it's 12 minutes of play, 5 Newark Red points.
Wow. And a buzzer beater.
Yes, and then
win.
Malachi Kuhn, hands down one of my favorite interviews I've ever done. I was so happy for him because, at least for the way we cover basketball, right? That's just not a name that we've talked about a ton.
We talked about Miles and Twists.
Right, and it was one of those things where I was really happy for him that he had that moment, seized it, took it, and just one of those things that make sports in general great is just a moment like that.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's been like that a lot for Newark. Has lost some games that they could have won this year. More than a handful of games, like I say, that they could have won and just couldn't pull it out. But the Wayne boys, and I should also point out, we've been saying all year that this is Bill Thompson's final season. Next year will be his final season, so just should clear that up.
Yeah, I double-checked with him. Just the way the timing works out, he's going to come back for one more year, which is great to hear, and great catching up with him. Great catching up with the coaching staff with Newark as well on Tuesday nights. So, and we'll be talking obviously more about them anyway here in a few minutes when we discuss the Class A standings overall. So,
yeah, both Wayne and Newark.
Yeah.
But a thriller in Ontario in the Eagles' Nest. Now, Lyons ER game, Wayne County's really something this year between Gananda, ER now, Lyons, Williamson Marion's improved. But this game was crazy. It appeared that Lyons had it, in the bag, let's say, and they were up, 1 point with 1 second left?
Yeah, 1.2 seconds left. They were up 1.
Yeah, and Lyons was shooting free throws.
Yep. Stephen LeBrecq made the first free throw to put them up 1, and then I believe it was a coach's call to miss the second one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Stephen wasn't even able to hit the rim, of course, which just gave the possession back to East Rochester.
Still, 90 feet away.
Yeah.
1.2 seconds left, down 1.
Yep.
For ER.
And they fired an inbound pass all the way down towards the basket. Jameer Johnson, tipped the ball, which is, good. You tell your guys to tip the ball, swat the ball away.
1.2 seconds left.
And the problem was Ray Allen was standing right there under the basket, and Ray Allen was able to just catch the tip and put it right in off the glass for the game winner. And, of course, it's one of the wildest shots you'll ever see, and you can go look at it on our article that we put out Friday night. Yep. The video is right there. And, of course, that was also overtime, which makes it even more crazier. And that night, that was the third overtime game of the night as well.
Yep.
And the second buzzer beater of the night. Yeah.
Wow. I thought it was one of the best plays I've ever seen in a high school basketball game. The inbound pass was really something. I mean, to throw it 90 feet, and I couldn't tell if there was a guy on the ball, if there was a defender on the ball.
There's not a guy on the ball. Oh.
Yeah, but what a pass he delivered. And it's always a tough coaching decision, too. So you're up 1.2 seconds left. You're shooting a free throw. The thinking is, miss the free throw. There's no way they're going to have time to collect the rebound and move it up court and get a shot off. Yep. But on the other hand, maybe just make the free throw, go up 2, and now you're still 90 feet away from the basket with 1 second left. So it really, a lot of different things could have happened differently, but in the end of the day, that last play was remarkable.
Yeah, I think Steven just threw it a little too hard. Of course, you want it to go a little hard. I don't know, at least for me.
It's hard to miss.
The harder you throw it, the more accurate. At least for me, that's how it works. So I think that's what he was doing. He didn't want to, lob it in and completely miss the rim. But I think he just fired it a little too hard. But, yeah, either way, we could debate this, was it good or not. And I think, of course, if they stopped the play, it would have been a great call. But
yeah,
it just didn't work out. And again, this is only their second loss of the year. They were on a 10-game win streak of as well entering that game. So sometimes you just lose games where it happens. It's luck, and you just bounce
And
back.
ER has been playing better, and this was a huge win for them confidence-wise heading into sectionals. And if this was a sectional game, boy, man, we'd be talking about that last play. That would have been a season ender, but it's not. I think Lyons is still in control of the Wayne County League title. I didn't look at sectional standings, but I bet they're still number one in Class C. And it's more of just a learning experience now heading into sectionals, where Lyons is still a heavy favorite, I think, to win in C1.
Gotta be. Although I don't know. To be fair, I mentioned this off air to Kyle a little bit. ER did come back, make things a little bit tight in that first game with Lyons earlier in the year.
7-point difference.
So yeah, it's just one of those things where they're both C1, right? ER and Lyons, if I'm remembering right.
Lyons is C1.
I think ER is C1 as well.
Yeah, so or maybe I'm misremembering crossing stuff up, but either way, I mean it's a matchup that we could very well see again.
East Rochester's B2.
Oh, well,
B2, so they won't see each other in the postseason.
Yeah. So, never mind my point that I was going to make. Well, I guess we'll throw it to whatever's next.
But great high school basketball game, no doubt. Let's take a look at the girls. Past week, anything standing out on the scoreboard for you guys? We'll get to talk about that Waterloo Penn Yan game that you and Nate Sharman called on Friday night in Waterloo.
Yeah. So, Waterloo lost, so they split the season series with Bloomfield earlier in the week last week. Interesting to note there because now that kind of puts Newark in a driver's seat-ish position for the league for the East. Wayne County, I thought, had a pretty interesting week. You had Clyde Savannah beat Williamson-Marion, so kind of they split the season series there too, I believe, right? So
yeah.
And then a big win for Marcus Whitman over Clyde Savannah. Good week for Marcus Whitman as they're kind of rebuilding after the Daggard injury, getting set for the postseason.
Yeah, and then Friday night overall, as you mentioned, Jim, we were at Waterloo Penn Yan, but one of those other overtime games, Kyle, was that Newark and Bloomfield game as well, which I was able to catch the end of. We were kind of, as we were tearing down Waterloo, kind of keeping tabs on the end of that game, which we had a buzzer beater to send it to overtime, right? Yep. So just absolute chaos.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it was the second buzzer beater of the night, third overtime game. I don't want to butcher the name, but I think it's Martiana Chance. She's a junior. She hit a 3 from the corner at the buzzer to send the game into overtime. This was just a tough loss for Bloomfield because, they had been leading by 2 with about 20 seconds left. And, of course, that buzzer beater
on the number one team in our power ranking, Newark.
Yep, and they were trying to bounce back from after dropping the first game. And how about this? Bloomfield lost both games to North this year by 3 points in each game. So Bloomfield has to be right at the top whenever we talk about the top teams because Bloomfield is good. They had that one bad loss to Waterloo, but then they took down Waterloo. I think Bloomfield is still a really good team.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about that for sure. Also thought it was worth pointing out. So Seneca girls have kind of been gaining some momentum, but they lost on Friday night to HAC, who HAC was a team we talked a lot about in December, and so maybe they're kind of getting it back together with the Cadence Brecker and company there. So keep an eye on the HAC Wolves, perhaps. But I guess with that being said, we can check out the new power rankings. There's only next week's our last one.
I believe so. Right?
Yeah, because then we just spoke. Who cares about power rankings at that point? It's time for sectionals, but. 2 weeks to go on the power rankings. What do we got? Wow, Wayne, number 1.
Shake up.
Yep. Well, I guess when you beat, they didn't play Lyons. They split with Geneva, and they beat Newark twice.
Yeah.
So, just a little surprising, going back to the beginning of the year when we knew that Cam Blankenberg was moving on. Just really great job by Coach Thompson and all his crew, and watching a lot of that game, listening to it on Tuesday night. This, by looking at this Wayne team going through their pregame warm-ups, you're not like, oh wow, man, look at this team. They're very physically unassuming, I think.
Wait until you see them courtside then.
Yeah, a little bigger.
Yeah.
But man, they play great, unselfish basketball. Obviously well coached, and they're the new number 1 team in our power rankings. On the boys' side, Geneva looked like they were locked in after beating Lyons back in December in Geneva. And then Lyons, despite the loss to East Rochester, is hanging in at 3. But East Rochester jumps into the top 5, of course, with that big win against Lyons. And Honeoye kind of hanging tight. Naples up to 6. Newark down to 7. And this is the thing. Would Newark beat Naples or Honeoye? Or East Rochester? We'll never know. We'll never know. But they've had plenty of opportunities to. I think they're. I think they got 7 losses on the season.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that there's 2 or 3 of them that could have gone the other way, and hopefully they're learning from that and going to be prepared to take care of business in sectionals based on that experience. Gananda, Palmac, and the Bloomfield boys, huh?
Yeah. And
nobody else received a vote.
No, for me, I was pretty much locked in with those 10 this week. Just with the losses Williamson had last week, had to drop them out. I don't know. Part of me, I almost put Waterloo in at 10 personally.
I was going to say, no Waterloo,
Almost.
no Minders, no Mid-Lakes in terms of Finger Lakes East teams.
But I would have to double-check fully to look at it. I'm pretty sure East Rochester, though, had the biggest week-to-week jump in the power rankings this year out of either the boys or the girls' side.
Where they go, like 8-4?
Pretty much, yeah. So, but other than that, yeah, I have no really outright gripes with the boys' top 10 this week anyway.
Kyle, if we had a 4-team tournament with the top 4 teams in our power rankings, that would be Wayne 1 seed, East Rochester 4 seed, and then Geneva and Lyons would play in the other semifinal. I mean, wouldn't that be a good tournament? Who wins that tournament?
It's tough because it's so stacked.
It would be a great tournament.
I'd probably still go Lions, but yeah, I think all teams could be certainly favorites. I mean, for example, I went through and did the math last night. East Rochester went 2-3 in their first 5 games.
Right, we wrote them off.
Since then, they're 9-1, and that lone loss was to Monroe by 2 points. And Monroe is a really good team. Yeah. Lions, kind of barely squeaked past them. So they've been playing unbelievable. One of their losses early in the year was to Lyons. East Rochester lost by 7 on their court. Yep. So overall, since the first few games of the year, they've been one of the best teams around. Judah Tanner leading the charge, Ray Allen. I'm probably forgetting a couple names off the top of my head, but
Justice Allen, yeah.
Yep, they're just, they have a lot of good players that have been around. That I think most are seniors too. So I really like East Rochester at this time of the year and how well they're playing.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree with you there. Girls power rankings. Newark, no surprise there, number 1, but it hasn't been easy. Bloomfield girls up to number 2. We just talked extensively about how close they came to beating Newark twice this year. Instead, they're 0-2. Waterloo girls at number 3. We kept kind of anticipating maybe they were going to break through and finish at the top of our power rankings, but they hit a couple. They stumbled last week, was it?
Yeah, just to Bloomfield, yeah.
Yeah. And then you got the Lyons girls also having a great season. Marcus Whitman seems to be holding steady. Clyde Savannah girls are the one that I just, sometimes you think, oh wow, they're getting it going, and then they, I can't remember who they lost to this
Marcus
week.
Whitman by 12.
Yeah, by 12, so not even
short-handed Marcus Whitman.
Right. But still, it's somebody to keep an eye on in sectionals. Then the Penn girls, strong defensively, have taken a couple tough losses against better teams, despite beating Waterloo back in the first couple weeks of the season here. Williamson, Marion, Gananda girls, and there's HAC. I was just talking about them with a nice win over South Seneca on the road. And Palmac girls get a vote. Palmac girls can play with anybody, but they are like 3 or 4 games under 500.
Yeah. I was looking through their schedule. They've had so many games where they could win. They're just not pulling them out.
Yeah.
And then they do have quality wins. I mean, they beat Newark.
Right. The number
just
1 team.
A couple weeks ago. That's why I'll admit it here, in front of the camera. I'm the one that picked Palmac 10. HAC, of course, they're playing well. They have a really good record, but we all know what would happen if they faced off.
I know, and I did. I think I threw HAC in at 10. Just basically looking at Newark or Palmac, I think they're more than 3 games under 500.
I think it's 6-10.
Yeah.
So 4. So yeah, it's tough. 6 wins at this point in the season. But you're right. They did. One of the wins was against Newark, and I'm sure that.
And they play Waterloo close all year. Looks like both games, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think Pelmac's kind of getting unlucky this year. I think that's why I still like them. Like, I feel like they could still go and win a sectional game.
Sure, they could win a few, and maybe maybe win a sectional title. I think if the tide can turn for them here heading into the postseason. So,
oh, quickly, sorry to interrupt. I was also looking through. Remember, Pelmac beat Lyons by 19.
Yeah.
So see what I mean? They have those quality wins where if you look at a team like Penn Yan, they haven't won a big game other than Waterloo.
Right.
And not just that, I went through their schedule. Penn Yan's been getting blown out by all these top teams.
That's been the tough part of it because they got a good record. It seems like if they can keep a team under 30, they'll win. But
They just lost by 36 to Waterloo, 27 to Newark, 26 to Newark, 24 to Pelmac, 20 to Canisteo Greenwood.
how did they fare against Palmac?
Yeah, they lost to Pelmac by 24.
Yeah, and so they're 7, and Palmac's on the outside looking in.
So I don't know if you can really just think Penn Yan is good at this point. I mean, in sectionals, you're playing big games.
Yeah.
They beat Waterloo on a buzzer beater in a weird, low-scoring battle. Aside from that, what have they done? That's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a good argument for Palmac. One more poll next week, and so maybe they can sneak in, so they can print it off and put it in their trophy case.
I mean, I don't know. We all know how I will tap my sign as usual. Results based. Just go out there and win, and I don't know.
They've lost 3 of their last 4.
Admittedly for me.
And Yan's lost 3 of their last
4 of their last 7.
Right, but admittedly for me, Penn Yan's been above Palmac the whole time in my top 10. I can't justify by my personal way I do it to just outright swap them like that.
Yeah.
I just can't.
If only if it was all about quality wins, then it would be like that. But I mean, I know I agree with you.
Yeah, everybody does it
The
different.
records definitely favor Penn Yan ahead of them, and different schedules, different
What
competition.
about HAC, though?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they deserve credit for having a much better season than years past. But
Jim, are you doing the hypothetical SEC games right now?
I just don't know if
Lakes West.
Palmac would. I think Palmac might handle HAC, but
I don't.
by 30.
Right, but that's the thing. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I have to look at it from, like I said, the perspective of I do it is HAC went out, had a winning week, Palmac didn't, and
This is why
it's one of those
it
things
really
where-
is just tough. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of
and it doesn't mean anything other than
Yeah.
talking points.
Yeah.
But it's also part of it is, hey, man, Palmac's in the top 10 for the past 15 years of the
Yeah.
Upstate Hoops podcast. Let's get HAC in there for
I guess,
second
yeah.
to last week although HAC I think got up to like 6 or 7 earlier in
At one
the
point,
season.
yeah.
So, anyways, one more week of power rankings, and then they're final for the year, and we head into sectionals. Then we start looking at brackets, which is a lot more fun, I think, than just looking at rankings. And with that in mind, we've taken a look at a lot of different classifications, but here's Class A on the boys' side, and I think you got 4 teams that could potentially get to the finals here. 3 teams. I don't want to say Palmac couldn't win. They got the same record as Newark.
Yeah.
So obviously East High is always tough. They've got the most sectional championships in Section 5 history. We know that Monroe's beatable because, as we mentioned,
Lyons did it.
Lyons and ER
was right on the doorstep.
Batavia is a team I think Newark beat this year when they
Lost
played.
to.
Oh, they
Barely
did lose
lost.
to them. Yeah. And then Honeyway follows Lima. And then you get down, you never know with School of the Arts. They're 8-8, play a tough schedule, I'm assuming. Aquinas has been beaten by a couple Wayne Finger Lakes East teams this year, I think, early in the season. So, and then you got like 3 loss, 1 loss teams from the Rochester area. But Geneva, number 1, and it's not even close. They pretty much have it locked in at this point, I think. With
Barring anything insane, yeah.
I think even if they lost 2 games, I think they still might hold on. But anyway, East High Wayne, a team who lost to the East High in sectional championship game, Logan Blankenberg's senior year. And Monroe, Batavia, Hunter. So Newark, Pelmac, Wayne, Geneva. I mean, a lot of times Class A is an uphill battle for our Wayne Finger Lakes teams, but I think we're favorites to come out with one. East High being the biggest obstacle.
Maybe, but Wayne's had their number, though, the past 2 years. Beat them in the Blue Cross Arena back-to-back years. So, I don't know. I think I might stick my flag in the ground right now
Eagles?
and say we have like a Geneva-Wayne final
Now that would be
Saturday, who knows when, at Blue Cross Arena in a few
the
weeks.
Class A side. They do. Yeah, sometimes they do like Class B1 at like 10
I
a.m.
think the Bs are like Friday night this year.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, A would probably be like around a 4 o'clock game, maybe. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. We're speculating. But and of course they got to win to get there. But
Right.
they'll be on opposite side of the brackets if these sectional points hold.
Now the interesting part, I'll go ahead and say this too for Class A on the boys' side here for sure, in my opinion. We've talked the last couple weeks, obviously we've done Bs, we've done Cs. I think Class A boys might be the collective deepest out of the bunch here. Because you mentioned it, Jim, realistically, I do think we were looking at 8 to 9 teams where there is a path, and you would be able to convince me of that. So I think Class A is going to be a really fun few weeks here coming up.
Could be great semifinals as well.
Yeah.
If we can potentially maybe get 3 Wayne Finger Lakes teams in there with Newark or Pelmac and then Wayne and Geneva, that would really be something. What are your thoughts on Class A, Kyle?
Yeah, it's stacked. I think Wayne and Geneva could definitely go win their class there. Right now, I'm gonna just say a favorite. I think Wayne is the favorite. I think they're playing really well.
Yep.
They've won 10 in a row. They're 13-0 in New York State, 0-3 in Florida.
Right.
So
1 and 2.
or sorry, 1 and 2 in Florida. Yep, they got that one win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wayne has 3 losses on the season, 2 of them in Florida, right?
2 of them in Florida, and then they split the season series with Geneva.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yep.
You're good.
They recently beat them by 10, which is why I thought they won both. Yeah. But either way, I mean, they're rolling. Geneva's still really good. I think Geneva still has a good chance to beat Wayne. After just losing to them a few days ago, but Newark, I don't know. I'm not high on Newark. They just haven't won the big games. For example, they had 2 big games this past week. They went 0-2. Yeah. Yes, they could have pulled out the one, and they did play their best. I will say, I agree with you in Wayne.
Yeah.
That was their best game I think they played all
Take
year.
them to overtime on the road.
Yeah. So maybe they are turning a corner, but I mean, 10-7. They haven't really won enough. So
That's true.
We'll see.
Yeah, see what clicks in, but it's going to be a great tournament for sure. We won't have the brackets for next week's show, but we'll be close.
Yeah, Wednesday is the final day of regular season games next week, and then
I don't know if we should move the podcast.
We could move it to Thursday hypothetically, but either way.
We could do a quick one on Monday, but sectionals will start this weekend, the following weekend, I should say.
The 21st.
Yep, next Saturday.
But will they be playing type of games?
Yeah, based on the stuff I've seen and looked at, it'd be
Class Bs and
it'd be the B and C like pre-quarterfinal like plans like the what is it like 16 versus 17 to get in and stuff like that. So
like what, like North Rose Woket boys? And
stuff
like that.
A lot of those games are inconsequential, and everybody knows it. But they go and play them. Sometimes you drive for 3 hours, in a bus, to see 2 teams play that have no chance of winning.
Sports.
Yep. But maybe we'll do a special that Thursday morning but we will be back next Monday quickly.
Yeah.
At least with our final power rankings.
That works for me.
But then Thursday
Preview show of sort. Yeah.
Thursday around noon, 1 o'clock maybe.
Yeah.
Big sectional preview show.
There we go.
All the hoping the brackets will be set by then.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Sometimes they have the brackets
I
set, but
feel
not
like we've
the
done it
venues.
Friday nights.
Yeah, I was about to say sometimes the seating meetings aren't until Friday even, I think.
Like Friday nights, I think we've worked on it several years in a row. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Might not be Thursday.
Well, stay tuned.
Yeah.
But still games to play in the regular season. Let's take a look at it.
There we go.
Start with the boys' schedule this week, and let's go through this here. This is the first I've seen of this, actually. I should have probably prepared a little better.
It's not a glamorous week.
Naples at
Especially on
Water
boys,
at Marcus Whitman will be a good game on Monday night.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm interested to see, Naples should win that game, right? If we think that they're a sectional caliber team.
Yeah.
So be looking at that one. Clyde Lyons rematch are renewing the rivalry, but not the same as it used to be, that's for sure. And Clyde has some talent. The Carnivale kid's really good, but they get freaking blown out every game, even when he has a good game.
Yeah.
Newark at Minders. Minders, that's a rivalry. Minders really needs to get something going here to let anybody think that they got a chance to make a run in B1, which is winnable for sure. So we'll see how they do hosting the Reds on Tuesday night. Palmac is playing at Penn. Wayne at Water. Same situation for Waterloo. Wayne's number 1 in the power rankings. They're coming into Waterloo. Let's see if the Tigers can put something together there and get a win. What else stands out? Anything in here? I'm seeing a lot of...
I got tonight Avon at Honeoye.
Oh, you took one of mine.
Avon is actually 9-7, but I don't know really their schedule that well. So
They're B1, right?
B2,
B1, B2.
I think it's
B2.
2.
Okay.
But yeah, I still would circle that game as a game to watch. And I don't know, should I steal your other one?
Go ahead.
Friday night, Naples at South Seneca.
I didn't have that one actually.
The first meeting was 50-41 Naples, so it was a tight game.
Yeah.
And South Seneca has been playing better, so
They have. They beat Minders.
yep.
And again, Naples, Marcus Whitman, and Minders this week are not Marcus Whitman and South Seneca this week. It's kind of expect Naples to win both of those games. So, anyways, we'll keep an eye on them.
I got a couple here. Williamson at CG Finney. That's an interesting one just for sectional purposes. They're both B2. Wednesday, Dundee Bradford at South Seneca. Now I know what everybody might be thinking, but I look at it from this perspective. I because when I do my power rankings for myself, I go down to 15. I have them both in my top 15. They're both playing some decent basketball here coming through the month of January. So something to keep an eye on for what I would call sectional purposes more than anything else out of those.
South Seneca boys have been not great, but not bad.
Yeah. And then one other one on Thursday I had highlighted as well was Williamson at Ganonda boys.
Yeah, that's again what the team flying under the radar in Wayne County has been Williamson Marion, and they've Williamson Marion. It's the boys' side that they're combining,
No,
right?
girls.
It's the girls' side, so it's just Williamson on the boys' side. Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's see what's going on for the girls in the last full week of the regular season. Bloomfield at Marcus Whitman.
First one I had listed. Yep.
Yeah. What do you guys see here?
Pretty interesting slate overall on the girls' side. I think it's more competitive on the girls' side this week than the boys' side.
Ganonda at Lyons.
Yeah, that's one I highlight. I do have Penn at Palmac highlight. Ganonda at Clyde Savannah on Friday. Lyons at Williamson Marion on Friday, and then tease it right now a little bit. But me and Kyle will be back in Waterloo Friday night for Newark at Waterloo girls.
Game of the week.
So
Yeah,
look forward to
that definitely is game of the week. I think it's the last chance in the regular season for Waterloo to kind of look dominant. And, it's a great chance for Newark to put their stamp on the regular season. Well, probably the best regular season their girls program has had in 20 years.
Maybe 17.
17?
Right, 2009 was
Then they went to States?
I think so. Unless my math is wrong. I was in high school during that time.
Yeah, so let's say 15 years.
Yeah, let's be generous.
And I have 2 more games tonight to watch. Notre Dame Batavia at Waterloo.
Yeah, it's a
Notre
good
Dame
one.
Batavia is 12-4, so they are good, I guess.
Tough week for Waterloo. 2 games. If they can go 2-0, that's a great way to vault yourself.
And then
into
another non-league game. How about this? Weedsport 15-2 at Palmac. I looked up the record last night. Couldn't believe it. 15-2.
Weedsport.
Yeah, Weedsport girls, good program out there in Section 3.
So we'll see how that kind of works in a non-league game.
Yeah, another chance for Palmac to, all these games at this point are about, catching some momentum, going into the postseason. I mean, you're always trying to get better, but at some point you got to be what you are, and that time is now.
Long drive, too, for Weedsport. Imagine getting home
Ow.
tonight.
It's not that bad. You go flying
Probably
down.
take the throughway.
Sure, or you could just fly
Still-
down 31.
Still 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
45 minutes. Maybe not
long.
quite. Yeah, I don't know. It's a long. The throughway exit from Weedsport to Seneca Falls Waterloo is pretty long.
17 miles.
Yeah. So then they got to go from there to the Pell.
Yeah, it is a
Myra
long
exit.
trip. And then imagine getting home after 10 tonight, probably.
Well, as I said, winding down. It happens so fast. So we'll be back next week, and then shortly after that, we'll have sectional brackets, and then that happens fast too. I mean, the finals week is like the first weekend in March, right?
Second weekend, or no, yeah, it is the first weekend.
'cause we
I
got-
got confused on the calendar the way it kind of fell this
February's
year.
confusing.
Yeah.
It's not a leap year, or is it?
No, it's not. Wait, no. Now you got me second guessing.
So yeah, and we got some great teams in the Wayne Finger Lakes. Definitely set to make a run. Fun week of basketball this week. Any parting shots, fellas?
I don't think anything high school basketball wise. It's been a fun run here, and this final regular season full week. Preface it that way, full week.
Yeah.
It's always interesting because look, we might be underselling the boys' side, and who knows, we might be sitting here in a week and talk about how great the action was. It's just one of those things. These final couple games for some of these teams mean so much that you really do see frankly some of the best basketball. So it's one of those weeks that. Like I said, we might be underselling it unjustly when it's going to turn out to be really a banger of a week.
Yeah, and I think for me, I just forgot to mention that we had another 1,000-point score. We didn't find this out again until days later, but Williamson Marion's Ellie Alexander, the junior on the team, hit it Thursday night against Red Creek.
Wow, and she's a junior.
Yep.
Hey, Ellie Alexander, congratulations.
And she's the 5th player to do it around here, or in the Wayne Finger Lakes this year. So, yeah, that's cool. And two of them from Williamson.
Yeah.
DJ Barber a couple weeks ago of the boys
On the
team.
boys' side. I tell you, this year, I don't think either program's gotten to the point where we're like, talking about them regularly and getting there and up in the power rankings. But both programs have reemerged. Both programs historically have been strong, and it's been a long time. So hopefully, not saying that they can't do something this season in sectionals, but hopefully something that can be sustained up in Williamson. So, good job, brother. The Marauders.
Marauders, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not up on Pirate.
Well, I just say, Williamson, his team might not know their mascot because we don't talk about them that much.
Fair.
They're the Marauders.
That's fair.
Anyways, thanks everybody for joining us on the Upstate Hoops Podcast. Connect with us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Our audio-only podcast is available almost everywhere you enjoy your audio content. You can find our show, live stream games, and local news, weather, and sports 24/7 at the Finger Lakes at fingerlakes1.com. Paul and Kyle will be courtside on Friday night for Newark Waterloo girls on fingerlakes1.com. You can check the link on YouTube and also the front page of fingerlakes1.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week on Monday. Until then, have a great week.